Another day, another dime. Saturday, 1:59 p.m., almost 2 p.m. Saturday, California time, United States. Look, we are here to talk about, different things. And I appreciate all the followers, all those that stop by all the time and give their opinion. I appreciate all those that even when they don't like my opinion, they still stop by and say something. So anyway, you guys can participate. You can be part of the conversation. We can talk about the United States. We can talk about other countries, other continents. We can talk about Brazil, which is, I guess, I know a little bit too. So you are all welcome. Absolutely welcome, okay? I hope you guys can be part of it, okay? I'm still back. Thank you. So anyway, we can talk about the news roundup, because there is so many things going on right now in the United States, outside of the United States. You know, a lot of things going on a political side, on economic side, on a social situation. You know, everything is kind of crazy right now. But we appreciate South African boys. Man, I don't know how you do that, but I appreciate, because I know it's late over there. And I appreciate you stopping by all the time, okay? Thank you so much. Well, I know that too, right? But hey, it don't matter. It's just because you stopped by, I want to say thank you so much. You have some stuff to do, right? Guess what? I'm not gonna ask you. I don't want to know what stuff you're gonna do, because I know it's kind of late over there, right? So just be safe out there, okay? Take it easy. All right. So anyway, we have a lot of stuff, but you know what? I decided to start this talking about something. I think some people like this, and which is in the scriptures, in the Bible. I was looking at, because it came to my mind today, because there is so many things going on in the natural side of it. Like, for instance, this earthquake that happening in Myanmar and Thailand and those surrounding areas. And then I came to my mind, one is scripture in Matthew 24, the chapter 24, talks about that. But it's 24, 6, maybe before 6, a few verses there. I challenge you guys to take a look. But basically, that scripture talks about the apocalyptic events on the last days of this planet, and one of the things they talk about is not only about the bad prophets, but also talk about the earthquakes and all the catastrophic events that we will have on the last days. And I was paying attention to that because I'd seen a lot of, earthquakes in the past, let's say 10 years. And in my humble opinion, or humble, I don't want to say humble because I don't think I'm a humble person. But in my opinion, my personal opinion, because if you look at the title of my live presentation, I put always that everything that I talk about here is just my opinion, nobody else. It's my own, okay? But, I noticed that it's a lot of, earthquakes. It looks like increased a lot in the past few years. You know, So yeah, this came to my mind because it was like interesting. Supposedly this scripture was written over 2,000 years ago. I mean, those prophecies, better say, and the Bible is a different story, right? But I was like, yeah, take a look over there, because a lot of the things that was it's mentioned in this chapter 24 of Matthew. Another thing is about the wars. It says that we're gonna have a lot of wars on the end of the days, end of times, you know. And I was like, yeah, we are having wars, right? So it was kind of interesting anyway. Right. Okay, just be careful, okay? You know. So anyway, yeah, this is one of the things that I was like, you know, kind of came to my mind. But the other thing that I want to talk about today, I think I kind of did a little bit in the past, but for whatever reason, I decided to come back to this topic, which is the common sense. In Portuguese, we call bom senso. And common sense, I found out that common sense is probably, hey, what's up, Aurora? Thank you for being there again. Wow. So, common sense is one of probably the hardest, you know, definition, because there is so many things that involves common sense that you know, I just don't think that common sense is that simple as people say. Just use your common sense, right? You heard that. But let me give an example of how complicated common sense is. Yes. Some countries, right? Thank you for the thumbs up. Some countries, if they if they catch you stealing anything, I'm not gonna name calling here, not gonna mention the country, but if you guys do some, you know, internet search or whatever, you're gonna find out some of those countries that if you steal something from somebody, for instance, they may cut your hands off. Huh? So, what I'm trying to tell you guys is this. Is this a common sense? You tell me. If it is a common sense, if you catch somebody stealing something, you cut that person's hands off. For some, depends who you ask, they're gonna say, yeah, of course it is. Right? So, on the other hand, here in the United States, some laws are very pretty severe too. Some consequences for, you know, some crimes, it's 25 years to life, and in some states you can be executed. Is that a common sense? On these two examples that I'm talking about now, I'm gonna give my opinion. I'm gonna give you guys my opinion. And remember, like the title of this life, I always tell you guys, it is my opinion only. To me, it's not a common sense when you give another human being the power to decide over somebody else's life. And the reason is very simple. We are we are not perfect. It's okay, Aurora. Thank you so much for participating. Okay, hope to see you soon, and I appreciate being there. I thank you. I wish you the good Saturday and a great weekend and Sunday, and I hope everything goes well for you the way you want it. That everything happened to you the way you want it. Not only you deserve, because deserving it's a very questionable too, but I just wish all the best. Okay, and I mean it. Thank you so much for being there. All right, so be careful out there. Be careful. Be safe. Take care. So anyway, thank you. I appreciate. You know, every time I hear things about judging, jury, prosecutor, and what I see of these people is just humans like you and me. And I don't know how people think they have the qualifications or the qualifications to judge anybody for any reason. Thank you so much. I appreciate. Hey, thank you. Hey, Diana, thank you. Good to have you there. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know that. Thank you for, I guess what we're talking about now, you may like it. I don't know. Because I'm talking about common sense. How hard it is, the definition of common sense, right? So, anyway, if you people, depends who you ask. For instance, in the United States, I have a good idea because, good in a way, I know physically know most of the states in the United States of America. Physically speaking, I've been to most of, not less than 40 states. I've been there not only once, many times. But I'll let you know in a few, Tester. I appreciate your question, okay? Thank you. I'll keep that in mind. Just give me a second. I'm trying not to lose my line of talking here, because if there is one thing that it's happening very often with me right now, it's forgetting things. And it remind me to tell a little joke about forgetting things, okay? But anyway, here we are now. I forgot. So what I'm saying is, when we talk about when you go, for instance, throughout the United States, if you go to those far right states, we have the far right, the far left, center, whatever you want to call here. It's two party. One is bad, the other one is worse. Here I am talking about politics now. But anyway, if you go to some states in the United States, they're gonna find okay if somebody kills someone, if they are sentenced to death. What amazes me most on this is that, look at this, and I know what I'm talking about now, okay? Most of those states who still have the death penalty and used it. Hey, Ivan, Boa tarde, muito obrigado por estar aí, viu? Eu queria tanto que você estivesse participando dessa conversa agora, que tá tão boa. So anyway, Ivan, he's a Brazilian guy, in case you want to know. He's there with us, Portuguese speaking, all right? Very nice guy. Thank you for being there. So anyway, Diana, thank you for being there too, and thank you, Tester. I'll go back to your question, okay? So, so what amazed me most on those further right or states that think that the death penalty is a good or necessary option, the thing that kind of really bothers me about that, other than the death penalty itself, is that most of these people, they call themselves, one, Christian, and two, evangelicals. And I'm not joking. So it's kind of goes against the principle of Christianity or Christianism. That's how I see it. Okay? So I'm not pro religion. I guess anybody knows me knows this by now. But it does bothers me because if you read the Sermon of the Mountain, which is the Constitution of the United of the Gospel, I'm sorry, I kind of lost here now. You know, the Sermon of the Mount is the Constitution of the Gospel. And if you say that you like to and you want to follow Christ, one of the main messages that he does have is forgiveness. So anyway, but I'm still talking about common sense. So yes, so Diana, so that's the thing, you know, and I used to be a Christian myself, and for some reasons, personal reasons, I decided not to go through this. I respect a lot of teachings on the Bible. I did teach this in my past, but now I came to the conclusion that Christianity, as we have right now, and evangelicals are absolutely a Zionist movement, and I'm out. Oh yes. But anyway, if you go through the United States is pretty much a very, very evangelical country. And Judaism in second, in my opinion. Maybe Catholicism, which is Christians, anyway, in a way. Anyway, in a way. Right? So, but Judaism, I understand because they are pretty much in a mosaic laws, like the what they call commandments. Hey, folks, forgive me because English is my second language, okay? 10 Commandments, I guess. So, you know, eye for an eye, right? Whatever, which is, it's not really a mercy kind of, you know, doctrine. But in a Christianism, it's a different story. So, and that comes to me when speaking of the gospel I have right here, that comes like, strike me like one another thing that I believe probably that one element that bothers Jesus Christ most, which is hypocrisy. Because when you don't practice in your daily lives forgiveness, you cannot call yourself a Christian. Well, you can call yourself a evangelical in a way, and people go crazy with me because people, oh, I'm evangelical. Look, you're evangelical or you're a Christian. No, it's the same. No, it's not. Right now, our government are governed by evangelicals and Judaism. And I know what I'm talking about. For those who don't like the system where religion is in power, sorry, too late. If you don't like theocracy, too late. But anyway, let me go back. Let me go back to my friend here. What is it? Where is he? Did I lost his? I think he took his comment off. Yeah, he took off his. He took out his comments. Oh, okay, let me see. Well, I forgot, what was his question? Anybody remember? Somebody asked me something about regrets or something, but it's not there anymore. So anyway, if he comes back, if you guys remember the question, let me know, okay? Because I like to answer. Oh, Tester, right there. I found you. I don't know if you're still there. Thank you for 8 people over there now. What are your regrets? What life lessons did it teach you? Well, would you allow me to use a few words of a very special song? No, I'm not a singer. But anyway, Tester, regrets. I had a few. Regrets, I had a few. But then again, too few to mention. So this part of the question, I hope you got it. And but the other part is, what is it, Tester? What life lessons did it teach you? Man, a lot. Let me give you a few, okay? Don't judge. Judge not. This is a tough one, huh? Another thing that I try to do hard and don't do all the time, but I'm really working on it. I have no time for people's defects or mistakes. I have so many. I'm very busy in trying to learn every day something about life. The other thing, Tester, is that that phrase that you probably heard a lot, that life is short, guess what? It really is. It really is. I don't pay too much, I do not put too much in energy on the past because I have no time for past. Time is the most precious commodity in your life. It's not money. It's not gold. It's not anything that the money can buy. And I'm not going to be a hypocrite here, because I believe it's important if you can have some, if you can be wealthy. I believe it may be a good thing if you learn how. Not many people knows how to be wealthy and still live a good life. Yeah, I guess you know that too. So time is the most precious commodity ever. So take care of that, live the best you can, do good deeds, do good stuff. On the end, now, if you are a religious person, guess what? If you follow this kind of instructions that I'm telling you or giving to you right now, if there is something on the other side of this life, when you leave this planet, when you die, if you do the best you can for your neighbors, if you respect people unconditionally, and let me say something about respecting love. Can I say something about it? I normally tell people first, I do not understand love very well. I don't. I understand joy. I understand gratitude. I understand what it is to be grateful. I guess I do. You know? But remember, if you live your life the best you can, taking care of your neighbor, don't be greedy. Care about the people that are on the street. If you are in the United States, remember, on this country, doesn't matter the reason, we have over 700,000 people, homeless people, that needs your help somehow. Your neighbor needs your help, your friends, your family. They need your attention. They need someone to talk to. So if you don't do these things and you call yourself a Christian or something like that, you are in very big trouble. And the other thing, tester, do the best you can. Grab the dictionary today. And if you're a religious person, grab the dictionary and look for the word hypocrisy, hypocrite. If you can do the best to not be a hypocrite, you're doing okay. And if you live your life the best you can every day, and if you happen to be a rich guy one day, a lot of money, wealthy person, you're gonna be something like happy. I don't know what it is, but you're gonna be okay. But if for some reason your financial goals can't be reached for whatever reason, and you need to remember those words or my words, you're gonna be okay too. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It is okay to fall and get up. It is okay to make mistakes because we all do make mistakes. We all make mistakes. We all make mistakes. There is not a single person on this planet that does not make mistakes. We all do. Guess what? It's okay to. Now, do the best you can. Learn. Some people some mistakes takes longer to fix it. I am probably one of the stupid person out there when it comes to mistakes, when it comes to wrongdoing. Because I may take several months, years to fix something and change my behavior. I'm not a fast learner, but I am pretty fast in understand when something is wrong, which make my mistakes more painful. Thanks everybody for everything you guys are sending out there. So that's what I'm trying to say. Living and learning. So the other thing that I want to say is, and I already said that before, I know probably Diana remembered that. I think I said that because I say this all the time. I just can't get tired of saying that. We are here on this planet. I don't mind if it's in the United States, if it is other continent, Asia, Africa, don't matter. It don't matter. It's a one home. It's one planet and different geography. That's it. Remember this. We are all here to learn. Everything else are or is a distraction. That's it. Everything else, folks, it don't matter. Now, let's hear this from a guy who knows a thing or two about the scriptures. Here, it's kind of old, you see. Believe me, I know a little bit about this book. I missed the count how many times I read that book. But let me tell you this. Learn is a good thing in life. Everything else is just a distraction. Now, if you happen to be a very religious person, okay, here's my opinion to you. There is 3 chapters on the New Testament. That is in different books, but normally it's about 3 chapters. Matthew 5, 6, and 7, they have the Sermon of the Mountain. I talk about this all the time. And I call the Sermon of the Mountain the Constitution of the Gospel. Okay? Let me make it very, very simple. You don't need to worry about all the letters that Paul, John, James, all the other apostles wrote to the people. They were preaching the gospel. That's a good thing too. But if you're a religious person, or call yourself a very religious person, or if you're calling yourself an evangelical, or if you're calling yourself a Christian, Sermon of the Mountain, the Constitution of the Gospel, 3 chapter, 5, 6, and 7 of Matthew, but that is in some other books too. All you have to do is follow Jesus Christ's words that it says there, things that is going to make it easy. And if you happen to die today or tomorrow, you're going to be okay. I'm talking to people who consider themselves a follower of Jesus Christ. That's what I'm trying to say now. He talks about hypocrisy a lot. He talks about forgiveness a lot. And in case you want to know, I'm not going to say, but I challenge you to take a look on those 3 chapters, what he said about forgiveness. And you tell me, when I mention the common sense and all those religious states, far-right movements, they call themselves evangelical, but they feel so good about the death penalty. There, Jesus Christ talks about forgiveness. 70 times 7. That's how many times I should forgive, because this was the question for him. How many times should I forgive? I know what you guys gonna say. Some of you guys out there, you're gonna say, well, forgive, it's not forget. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Because if we forgive, but you don't forget, you're carrying inside of you hate. And if you don't forgive, Jesus Christ's words, it's up to you now. If you don't forgive, you cannot expect forgiveness because you're not special. And I have to tell you something else about that. There is no such a thing as special. We can use these words, we do use these words. And let me confess one sin. For some, it's going to be, not for me. I do not like the word hero. I don't. That bothers me a lot. When you do your thing, when you do what's supposed to do, and you believe in God, not me, you believe in God, He's going to be watching over you. And like the Sermon of the Mountain, when you do something good to somebody or for somebody, and you're expecting the gratitude from this somebody that you helped, read the book. So we just need people. We don't need hero or heroes. We need people that are willing to do what they're supposed to do on his everyday lives. That's it. It's not complicated. If you have no sympathy for everybody, if you classified who deserve your sympathy, we got a problem. Thank you, Diana. Have a great night, okay? So, folks, forgiveness it's like a very, very powerful medication for our sins. It helps a lot. But some people, for some reason, they think that their faults is different from others, right? They think that it's different. No, it's not. We all need forgiveness, all of us. Even those who have the dare to go and sit and watch somebody die or being executed, like some people want to go there and see it for themselves. It's almost kind of pleasure. Isn't it scary? Hmm? So when you pray, you only pray for those who you think that they deserve your prayer. Hello, Raj Kamal. Thank you for being there. So, folks, we all need, everybody needs forgiveness, mercy, because we are all learning in a learning process to the end of this life. And also I normally tell people, past cease of existence, past no more. Future is just a possibility, it's not a reality. All we have is our present right now. Keep that in mind. Okay? If you don't need forgiveness, forget about my words. But remember, if you like to call yourself, and I hear this a lot, it makes me throw up sometimes. Disgusting. You call yourself a Christian, but you have no mercy, no respect for anybody. And I normally say this about love and respect. I already said that I do not understand love, but I understand respect. And I tell people, you may love whoever you choose to love, but respect should be unconditional. Thank you so much. Have a great day.